What's going on, guys? It is your boy Forever One Ghost here coming at you with another anime review video today. I got some homies with me. I got Crumb to the left. Say what's up, Crumb.
What's up?
Then I got a new homie to the right. Say what's up, Ryder.
What up, guys?
So today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball GT. So we're going to start off with Crumb giving off some awesome information. Go for it, bro.
So Dragon Ball GT is a non-canon series as opposed to the Dragon Ball and the Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, which composed of only 64 episodes, including the Baby Saga, the Shadow Dragons, Super 17, and many more. So the plot of the whole story was Goku, as he's training, because you know he's always training, has to. He encounters, or kinda encounters, Emperor Pilaf as he's wishing with what's called the Black Star Dragon Balls. And with the Black Star Dragon Balls, he ends up wishing Goku to be a child again. And as that happens, the wish is granted, and the Dragon Balls scatter all around the universe. And what brings the story in is that they have to find these Dragon Balls within 1 year or else Earth will blow up, which brings the story of Goku, Pan, and Trunks traveling all around the universe to search for these. This leads us to go to many fights such as the Loot Cult, the Machine Mutants, and the ones as I just mentioned, Baby, Super 17, and the Shadow Dragons.
That was insane, you know? That was insane. I don't mean to cut you off on that, but remembering those fights and seeing the very many things that he had to go through, only 64 episodes is insane. But yeah, but keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off on that.
Oh yeah, and it's true. They definitely, within 64 episodes, having to go through that many sagas, like the Loot Cult was definitely like I'd say a short couple of episodes, I believe. But Baby was like huge, and then
it was
Super 17 and the Shadow Dragons. I believe Shadow Dragons took up like maybe 15 episodes.
Yeah, it was a very long series because, you know, having the first few episodes didn't really make much of it because obviously it was just Goku retrieving the Dragon Balls before the Earth blew up, and then through the 1 year. So that's when they brought back Baby, when they came back to Earth with all 7 Dragon Balls. Before that happened, and then Baby was taking over bodies, and he first took over Goten's body during the episode where Gohan was coming back to visit his mother, and Gohan noticed in the immediate moment that he spoke to him when Gohan got punched in the gut by his brother, and he said, you know, this is just us boys playing and horsing around, and then that's when he told Goten to follow him somewhere away from the city, and that's when he confronted him and saying, I know you're not my brother, who the hell are you, and blah 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 blah. And that's when Baby started his menacing, where he started attacking everybody. He took over the body of Gohan, and that's when a lot of stuff started happening. It was insane.
Big insane Baby Saga. That was quite possibly my favorite out of any of the sagas they had within those 64 episodes.
Oh yeah, it was insane. Ryder, what about you, man? What do you think? What did you think about the Baby Saga? Did you like it? Did you think it was a little bit like, whoa, this is kind of crazy?
From what I read and what I saw, they were two different things in my perspective, but I definitely think it was a really great episode. From what I saw, I really liked it, the way that they kind of portrayed where Baby takes over Gohan's body and then all that stuff happens, but I still think I really enjoyed that saga the most out of all of GT.
And might I also add,
Absolutely.
Despite trying to save the Earth, it ends up exploding anyways when Piccolo sacrifices himself to turn the Black Star Dragon Balls into stone. Luckily, Goku and everyone, this was during the time the Tuffle planet was created, and everyone was transferred over to that new planet.
Yeah. It was scary because seeing all that happening, Piccolo had to sacrifice himself to, obviously, like what Crumb said, and again, I apologize for cutting you off again. I didn't mean to do that.
No problem.
He sacrificed himself to turn the Dragon Balls into stone, but that's when all the Earthlings that were there were getting controlled by Baby. And that's when Goku was over there trying to stop him, but he didn't have enough power. Because Goku was then seeing Baby turning even stronger, using obviously Vegeta's body, turning into Super Baby, which just immediately gave us that hint off that he was like getting stronger and stronger and stronger, obviously. And then Goku was just, he couldn't do anything. He tried to stop him. He tried, to that point where Pam ended up getting hurt really, really bad, and he couldn't do anything to help her. And that's when Ozaru pretty much, like, he got mad and lost his temper. He completely lost it to the point where he turned into Ozaru. He turned into Super Saiyan Ozaru. And Pam was trying to calm him down to see, like, the Earth needed him, that he needed to go home. We needed everyone back to Earth. We needed to save the planet. And Goku started regaining his sense. And as you saw in his mind, you saw him transforming, from adult Goku, Kid Goku, both of them like intervening each other, like in their minds, in their own mind, obviously, because it's the same person. And then you see this new transformation. We're just like, well, what the hell? What is this? He's got fur now? But then we started realizing, okay, we get where it's coming from. He's a Saiyan. He uses the power of Ozaru and his Super Saiyan powers. He became Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And that's when he uncovered his incredible power. Now, my question to the both of you, of course, is, first I want to go off with Ryder. Ryder, what did you think about Super Saiyan 4? What did you think of the actual look of this new form that he came in GT? And of course, none of this is true. This is non-canon, unless, obviously, if Super brings it in and talks about it, then we'll see. But from now, it's just not true.
I think the look was really nice compared to because throughout the whole series, they've changed Goku's looks, and having something like this on GT where he looks completely different than what he did before, it kind of starts getting appealing after a while.
So you like the transformation that he took in, and the way that the character looked, and the sense that Ozaru Goku, using the powers of both. Obviously, Ozaru is a really powerful monster. That's a great ape, obviously, and he used that to his advantage to turn into Super Saiyan 4. I kind of guess it makes sense, because using the origins of the Saiyans, using the great ape, which is Ozaru, and transforming him into a Super Saiyan 4, making him into that sense of power. It makes sense. Crumb, what did you think about the transformation, and what did you feel about it?
I personally enjoyed the look of it. I thought it was absolutely great. I like the idea of it being able to completely change the body and form of him into just one whole different being of immense strength. So
yeah, I think it was incredible.
I thought the concept was absolutely wonderful.
Okay, that's dope. That's actually awesome to hear. My question now is, now that happened, obviously Super Saiyan 4 Goku comes in. He then faces off toe-to-toe with Super Baby. Now, Baby then is wondering, who is this person? Baby was getting beat up, but then Baby starts taunting by saying, oh, if you kill me, you kill Vegeta. So he has to hold back on his power, but I'm pretty sure in his mind, he was thinking, Vegeta would never want this to happen. If at anyone he wanted it to end his life, he would have wanted Goku to do it. Obviously, because he's his best friend. They're rivals. They're enemies. I don't know what it is anymore with them. It's so confusing. It's like a love-hate relationship, but it still works out to his advantage. And I'm pretty sure that this would have ended off well. But as that went on, Baby ended up transforming into a giant Super Saiyan 8, as we saw in the episode. Goku then having to fight him off in a position where he didn't want to kill Vegeta, but he had no other choice. Obviously, he ended up using the strategy of cutting off his tail, shrinking Baby back into Super Baby, which he was now a lot weaker because of the power that he had used. And then he had no other choice but to get away from Vegeta's body, drop his body down, and leave. And then that's when Goku ended up transcended Super Saiyan 4 because of the family members, which is Gohan, Goten, Pam, Trunks, and Oob, that were giving their powers to Goku to make him transcend. No, all the way around. It was those four, not Super Oob, that was there helping them. It was the four Saiyans and then the Pam and all of them helping, giving him power to transcend into Super Saiyan 4 Transcended, more or less. I don't think it was Super Saiyan 4 2, or it doesn't make any sense. But you get what I'm saying as to power-wise he increased. So after that happened, Baby obviously separated bodies with Vegeta, tried to flee away to the point where after he fled, Pam was telling him, hey, aren't you going to stop him? Not yet, you'll see. And then he hits him with a super powerful Kamehameha times 10 and drops him. But now that was impressive. What did you guys think of that? Like, when you saw him do that, get that power from the Super Saiyans, family members, obviously, what did you guys think of that? First, I'm going to go off with you again, Ryder. What did you think about that?
I think that was pretty amazing, where he just gets all his power all at once and just lets it go, and what I say, it was amazing.
All right, what did you think about that, Crumb?
I like the idea of how in the beginning he's able to have no chance at defeating Baby, and then at the end, when Baby's at his weakest, he has more than enough power to take him out.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, and I forget to bring this up in the whole, bringing up how the story ended on with Baby, was that the great ape, Super Baby, had eaten Ooh inside of him, and that's how Baby was getting weaker, because Boo was inside of him, transforming into like his energy, harnessing it into a big circle of energy, and hurting Baby to transform him back into his normal self. He ended up spitting out, obviously, Super Boo, which is Super Ooh. Obviously, I forget to say that. And that's when Vegeta and them separated. I wanted to clarify that because I forgot to bring that up. But if it wasn't for Super Ooh, that wouldn't have happened, where Goku had the advantage to kill him. Now let's go right into Super 17.
Yes.
I didn't see that one coming.
So
I honestly didn't see that one coming.
A year after defeating Baby, Dr. Mew, who created Baby, and Dr. Gero, which is the creator of the Red Ribbon Army androids, they create a replica of Android 17, and the original Android 17 decides to fuse with them, which created Super 17. So at first, Super 17, it seems impervious to Goku's attacks, but I believe this was a very short attempt. So pretty much what happens, Android 18 attacks him for killing Krillin. Surprise there.
Right.
Goku takes this advantage in Super 17's distraction and penetrates through his defenses with Dragon Fist technique, then fires a Kamehameha through the wound, defeating him.
Yeah. Pretty much what had happened was Goku came in the nick of time where Vegeta was the only one that was there at the time stopping Super 17, to the point where he had no other choice but to try to stall him for Goku. But at that moment in time, Super 17 brought up Goku's name, which brought up a very sentimental moment where Vegeta said, I am the sworn protector of planet Earth, and he obviously made fun of Kakarot, but he said that this was his home, he was gonna protect it. That all gave everybody like that shit. Vegeta, man, he's taking that role seriously of being a hero. We always knew he was a hero, but he took it upon to use the line that Goku would always say, I'm the hope of the universe, etc., etc. And then Vegeta did his best. I'm not trying to say he didn't do enough. He did his best to the point where he fainted off, he couldn't help, he couldn't do it, and Goku came in the nick of time, saved Vegeta, to the point where then after that, Super 17 started fighting off against Goku. Goku was going Super Saiyan 2, started fighting him off, and then the fighting kept going, and that's where Goku went Super Saiyan 3, tried to stop him a little bit more there, but then he started figuring out that what he was doing wasn't working, so he finally got pissed. He went Super Saiyan 4. Now, that's in the moment where he was fighting Super 17. Super 17 was taking everything he had. He even started hitting him with a Kamehameha times 10 directly at him, and he was like, what's going on? Why is none of my energy attacks working? Because he figured out Super 17 can absorb energy. And towards the end, he lost to Super Saiyan 4, and as what Crumb was saying, he ended off killing Krillin towards the point where Android 18 was pissed. he said to him, "You aren't the same person you were before. You're a monster. How about you kill me?" But then forgot to say to her, or him, or 17 forget that she had a bomb in her. But then Goku remembered, no, she has no bomb. She's BSing him into thinking that she does. I mean, and that kind of worked out to his advantage towards how he won, where Super 17 or one of the 17s was giving a weakness to Goku to find out, and that's when he kept telling 18 to hit him with everything she had, because obviously the androids have infinite energy, so they can keep going, no problem. So that's when Goku got up, started, charging up, and then hit him with everything he had, which is a Super Dragon Fist, and ended off killing Super 17. Now, what did you guys think about the entirety of Super 17 Saga? Did you guys like how it all plotted out, how they made a clone of 17 and all that, and fused them? Well, what did you guys think? I'm gonna go off with Ryder first again.
I think it was pretty interesting how it kind of ended, where like you said before, that she kind of made him think that she had a bomb in her, but Goku knew she didn't have a bomb, so they kind of tricked
wished it off her.
Yeah, they wished it off her, so they kind of tricked him, and I think that was like the highlight of that kind of saga for me, is like way they tricked him and he actually believed and he fell for it.
Okay, that's fair. That's very, very, very true. What about you, Crumb? What did you think about the saga of 17?
I feel like it was a nice filler. In between like Baby and the next topic, we're going to talk about the Shadow Dragons. I believe it was definitely a great filler. Definitely, just a nice little small attack. Sort of brings the excitement,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great, way to hype us up for the Shadow Dragons, which was an incredible saga, by the way. Mm-hmm. I did love the Shadow Dragons. It was a crazy, crazy fight. But let's first hear about how that happened. So I'm gonna let Crumb take it away with that.
All right. So due to the overuse of the Dragon Balls, which we all know since the beginning that Bulma found Goku and they've been searching for the Dragon Balls, they've been used many, many, many times. But since that overuse, the Dragon Balls have cracked, and hence the Shadow Dragons were created when they tried making another wish. All but the most powerful, Sin Shenron, are defeated. Sin Shenron appears to be losing until he absorbs the Dragon Balls and gains even more power, so he takes the Dragon Balls, which are in each of the dragons themselves, and absorbs them to become Omega Shenron, and overwhelms Goku completely. Goku's about to sacrifice himself to destroy the evil dragon, but Vegeta turns up in Super Saiyan 4 form, and thanks to Bulma, she creates a device called the Blitzwave Generator, which allows Goku and Vegeta to fuse, creating Gogeta, who uses their immense power to taunt Omega Shenron. However, their fusion then ends and Goku loses his Super Saiyan 4 form along with Vegeta. Eventually, using the energy of every living being in the universe, Goku makes a Spirit Bomb powerful enough to destroy Omega Shenron.
That was, I feel, my favorite episodes, where these Shadow Dragons that came out of nowhere, they didn't come out of nowhere, obviously, but they came out of nowhere after the Dragon Balls were being overused like crazy. Then the dark energy that was coming from those Dragon Balls, the Dragon Balls ended up cracking, as what Crumb said, turning these very dark monsters into planet Earth, so leaving Goku and the gang to stopping them. So what did you guys think about, the Shadow Dragon series, and what were your favorite scenes or fights that you felt was pretty dope and you felt like it gave you the most hype for the show?
Ryder, would you like to go?
Alright, I'll just start off saying, I think the highlight of that episode for me was when Vegeta and Goku kind of combined. They have both had their powers, but I think the biggest part of that saga for me was when Goku collected all the energy from all the part of the nature around him, and he created a Spirit Bomb big enough to destroy it.
Yeah, that was incredible. My favorite moment is when Goku was in a pickle with Nova Shinron and his brother. I forget his brother's name. Where it was Fire and Ice, and they were like hurting Pan, and he was like in a disadvantage. But the Ice Dragon, which is a part of Nova Shinron being the Fire Dragon, I think it was, or I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Because the other one was noble and wanted to fight fairly, but the other one was just like, kill him quickly. I don't got time for this. It was one of my favorite episodes because it was like a very thrilling moment where like, what is he gonna do? What was he gonna plot into? What was he gonna do in a sense? What about you, Crumb? What were your thoughts about the show? Not the show, obviously, but the episode or the series of the Shinron Omega Shinron saga.
I enjoyed like what Ryder said with the episode where he was going against Omega Shenron, and it was like the final battle, and he makes that spirit bomb using all the energy from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I just believe that, although again not canon, I believe if that were to be used again, I feel like it would just be absolutely insane. Like, since Goku's much more stronger than he is in GT now, like we all know now he can go God. So just to think, if he makes another spirit bomb with all the energy from the universe, and he's able to defeat like the Dragon Ball, Omega Shenron, all of them, it's only enough to see what he could do now.
I mean, I completely agree with you. Obviously, knowing that the show isn't real, the show is non-canon, it's not really a part of the Z story or the Super story or all that arc. I would say that now, being that this is obviously true, Goku is a god because he ended up fighting a god destroyer, which is Lord Beerus. But, you know, GT was, like, I think a filler for the ending of the Buu Saga. Everybody wanted to see what was going to happen after, what was going to happen. So I figured they'd try to do another show, a short show called Dragon Ball Grand Tour, which is GT for short. Thank you again for the information on that, Crumb. And then they just said, let's try this, and let's try that, and let's try this. And a lot of people were very excited with the show. They weren't disappointed, but obviously they all knew that this wasn't real. So I kind of guess, like, let's put it in perspective. Obviously, let's say this: if it were real, now let's say this again. This is not real, but we're just giving our thoughts on this. If this show were real, GT were real, how would any of you two plot it into Super? How would it work? How would you bring it into Super? First, I'll start it off with Crumb. How would you bring it into Super now? GT, like, let's say now that, you know, they're gods and all, but then you got to remember, Pan was born, and this character is real. She is now canon. She is real.
Well, I just want to first off start off by saying I have not currently watched anything from Dragon Ball Super. But as you're saying right now, Pan, yeah, I do need to watch it.
You should watch it. It's incredibly good.
But as you're saying, Pan is now canon, and I believe they could say this was canon, and I feel like unless something seems totally wicked out of place, they could definitely implement GT and transition it over. Like, I believe they...
I think... Oh, no, go ahead. What were you saying?
I believe they definitely could just fill it. It could be that filler, but also make it so it's there. It was recognized.
Well, I feel I agree in some way, but I think the only way that would work is if Pan gets a little older, because there's a lot of people who make theories of this. I think that if Pan were older, and, you know, a lot of people were saying that if Pan had dreams of GT, of her father, you know, showing up, helping his dad, Goku, and he was Super Saiyan 4 with Vegeta, and they were turning into Gogeta, you know, stopping the Shadow Dragons, you know, in some sense. And some bad guy tapped into her memories and released this, like, world, which is GT world, and ended up causing a problem where Goku of now, which is Goku God and all this, had to stop this bad guy from using this world against them, which the world is real. He just brought it out of her mind, making it real. That would be fucking interesting. Pardon my French on the fucking, but like that would be insane.
If I may,
that would legitimately be insane. Like, could you imagine that? Like, again, let me hear Ryder's input on this.
Well,
is insane.
If I may butt in real quick, I'd like to counteract my statement because, as I just said, it would be nice to implement it, but then you also got to realize the Dragon Balls were destroyed. So
you're very right. You're so right, and that makes an even more valid point. But again, that show wasn't real. But at the same time, this could be something that Pam drew up in her head and said, "Let me see how this would have worked out, or if this would have ever happened," kind of thing. You know what I mean? But again, let's give Ryder his input first, and let's see how he thinks about this. Ryder, what would you think, and how would you feel if GT were to have come out in Super, but in the right way, where they brought it in very, very smoothly, very smart, and it made us like, wow, that's fucking awesome how they did that. Again, pardon the swearing here, but I have to make my point. So how would you feel about that?
In all honesty, I think it would be really interesting if they actually did include it in Super, because it's in a way it's kind of like a different storyline. Like those small sagas are like each a different storyline, but then they create one big storyline. But at the same time, I think like Super was supposed to explain more of like, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what I've read, it seems more like they're focusing not on Goku but everybody around him some of the time. So yeah. I don't think it'd fit on specifically him. So I don't think it would be a good fit. Because along the years, the series has known to been focusing on Goku's growth himself. And now they're kind of going to like a different, with GT they're kind of going into a different flow, and then eventually he comes into the storyline and becomes a hero in each saga. So I don't think a lot of people would agree with that.
So you're saying that it wouldn't work out, people wouldn't be too interested in having like a world of like a GT coming into Super, you know, not in the sense of like it's differing from the arc itself, but more or less like it still involves Goku being the god, and Beerus and all these other characters that are involved in the show obviously would help out in solving this problem. But you're saying it wouldn't work because you think it's not more focused on Goku, when it's obviously super focused on Goku and Vegeta, being that they're the main characters of the show, but adding on to new characters like Lord Beerus, Xenos, the future Xenos, and all these other characters and god characters that are being introduced now could cause a problem to the show? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's not sticking to the old style of what everybody's used to and everybody loves. Goku being the guy who's there and consistently making everybody feel like, yeah, he's the hero, he's the main character.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But it's not always going to be Goku saving the day. You've known this to be true because when Gohan faced Cell, who was the hero then? Gohan was, because he stopped him.
Cell was
and
the
then
hero.
Oh yeah, of course he tempted him out of it. So then after that, Vegeta was the hero at one point too, because he was protecting the Earth when Goku was dead. That's another thing. And then Gohan was obviously an adult. He became Mystic Gohan. And another time where Goku was dead, he needed Gohan to step up and play the hero, and he did, but failed towards the end of it all, obviously. But yeah, because I feel like Gohan, to me, is a great developing character that needs to be pushed more. But again, that could be here, set there, whatever, and stuff like that. So my question now is, do you feel like, because let me tell you, Super obviously is the continuation of what happened after Boo. When they defeated Boo, and this is just them talking back into the series, going back into what happened after Boo, they bring it up, etc. So now that this is going down on GT, and after GT ended, that it's not real, they brought Super, this is now going to happen now. What do you guys feel that GT could have done better if they had the chance to do it better? What would you guys have seen in GT that could have been better, that could have possibly made it canon? What would you guys have done to make it real, or had fixed to make the show better? Crumb?
I want to say that it's great. The whole entire series was amazing. GT, there were a few things that just made it so that it's not able to become canon, like the Dragon Balls. They're no longer a thing in it. The entire Earth was destroyed.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things that would really cut the story, so it's clearly not canon. But you also got to think, if there were ways where this could be made canon, then a lot of this stuff would have been kicked off. Like, you wouldn't have had such a great series. So, I believe it's better being non-canon because there's just so much they were able to do. They were able to fantasize more.
Yeah, okay. I respect that. What about you, Ryder?
I totally agree with what Crumb is saying. Is that they in this small series of GT they could have done whatever they wanted, but like you said, the main point, like, they're getting rid of the Dragon Balls in a way. I just didn't think that was a good thing for the series itself, so it being a canon wouldn't even be possible.
Okay, I respect that. I think that's very, very great, valid point, and I appreciate that from both of you. But yeah, great talk with you guys both about Dragon Ball GT. I hope everyone here enjoys it. I want to thank Ryder for chipping into this episode. So thank you, Ryder, for stopping by and making this episode possible. And of
no
course,
problem.
Crumb as well, for always helping us out on this video. The next review we're going to be doing, guys, is a recommendation that I got from the homie Crumb, who is going to be helping us out with this episode a little bit. Of course, myself and whoever we bring in on that day, which is going to be Yu Yu Hakusho, Spirit Detective. It's going to be really awesome to review a classic anime like that. I think I wanted to do a review of it, but I wasn't too sure into the plot story of the show. But now I'm getting used to knowing a little bit more of it. I will be doing a review of that. So anyway, guys, I thank you guys so much for helping us out in this video. Again, Crumb and Ryder, thank you guys so much for helping. And make sure, as always, to subscribe to the homies here, Ryder and Crumb. They will leave their links in the description below. And as always, guys, make sure to sub to me. Make sure to check me out on Twitter at ForeverOneGoes. I am doing a giveaway. As I mentioned in the last stream, I am doing a giveaway for an awesome game. So make sure to check out my pinned tweet. Make sure to follow these guys on Twitter. What's your Twitter, Crumb?
Well, it will probably be in the description, but if you are able to find it, it's the_real_Crumb.
Ryder?
My Twitter will be in the description too. It's just Ryder. Just all one word, no spaces.
Alright, so as always, guys, stay awesome, stay blessed, and as always, guys, keep watching anime. And this video is powered by Viewster. Make sure to check them out at www.viewster.com if you guys want to check out any great and possible omakases they have on sale. Make sure to check them out as well. Alright, so stay awesome and keep watching anime.
Goodbye.